I recently had a question about Charlie's eye embellishments. Charlie is the Eastern dragon, the celestial dragon, and he has some interesting eyebrows. His eye sits right here, if you can imagine. This shorter end kind of goes down the nose, and then these kind of flare up over his eyes. And the person that was asking the question was really, really struggling with these. Her spikes were kind of flip-flopping like this. And so I wanted to try to help get this sorted so that not just her, but anybody else who's having trouble with Charlie's eyebrows can get some help. So we're going to start out with a chain 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And row 1 starts with a slip stitch in the third loop, or the third chain. So 1, 2, 3 chains. I'm going to slip stitch here. Then an SC, increase, and an SC. So SC, increase, that's just 2 SCs in the same chain. And SC. Right? Now we're going to turn and chain 1. 2 SC in the back loops only. So when you're looking down at your work, the back loops are the ones farthest away from you. So we're going to work 1 SC in the back loops and 2 SCs in the back loops. And then chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So right now it looks like this. Now we're going to work back down this chain, and we need to make sure that when we work back down this chain, we are turning the work this way and working the top of the chain, because if we turn and accidentally work the underside of the chain, say we just flip it over, that's what's going to cause those spikes to change direction. So if you accidentally flip over your chain and you can see the little humps facing you, you are working the wrong way on the chain. The flat side of your chain should be facing you when you work back the other way. So we're going to slip stitch in that third chain from the hook. SC and then increase. So that's the increases are what gives it like the bend. So there's always an increase right before you get back to the thickest part of the spines. So there's our SC and increase. And then these are the 2 stitches we worked into the back loops of right here. So when we were working down before we chained the second time. So we need to work into the back loops of those 2 stitches. All right, now we have our first 2 points, and the ridge between them is created by those back loops only stitches. So let's chain and turn, and we're going to repeat those 2 rounds 2 more times. So we're going to SC in the back loops only twice. Chain 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Turn, making sure that the flat side of our chain is facing us. Slip stitch into that chain. SC. Increase. We're back to those 2 stitches, so we're going to work a back loops only single crochet in each of those 2 stitches. All right, now we have 3 spines. So turn and chain 1, 2 SC in the back loops only. Then chain 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. with the flat side of our chain facing us. I'm going to slip stitch into that third chain, SC in the next chain, and increase in the next chain. Then work SCs in the back loops of the 2 single crochets at the base of the ridges. So now we have 4 ridges created that are all kind of facing the same way because there's those increases there. And because we made sure our chains were facing the right way and we did our back loops only in the right place, we have them all facing this way. So continuing on, we're going to chain 1, and this is where it gets tricky because they get smaller. We're going to chain 1 and turn, or turn and chain 1, and just SC 1 time in the back loop only of this spine. And then we're going to chain 4. 2, 3, and 4. And this is going to make a spine that is slightly shorter than these spines, but longer than the next set. So we have 4 chains here with the flat side of the chain facing us. We're going to slip stitch into that third chain and then increase in the last chain before we get back to the base, and then making sure we're looking down on that stitch, SC in the back loop only of that stitch. All right, so you've got a little spine next to your big spines. All right, next we need to make the 3 little stubby ones on the end here, and they're basically just slip stitches attached, slip stitch blobs like this guy, attached onto our base of back loops only SCs that we've been making. So looking down, we're going to make sure that we're looking straight down at our stitches here. I've already chained 1, so this guy is a chain. And we're going to work an SC in the back loops only of that stitch, and then chain 3. Okay, now turn the work so you can see the tops of your flat chain and the top of that stitch there. Slip stitch in the third chain from the loop, or from the hook, and single crochet back loop only of that flat stitch. Okay, let's do that again. We're going to chain 1 and turn, SC in the back loop only, chain 3, 2, 3. When we come back the other way, we've got 3 chains and our stitch that we worked into. So we're going to slip stitch into that third chain from the hook and SC into the back loop only of that one. So you see we're keeping going with the little ridges by making sure that our back loops only are always on the same side. So let's chain 1 and do it one more time. Going to SC in the back loop only, and then chain 3, 2, 3. Looking down at our work, make sure we have our chains and our nice flat stitches that we can see. Slip stitch in the third chain from the hook, and SC in the back loop only of that last stitch. So there is our eyebrow. And these picots do try to scrunch a bit, so you do kind of have to press them out. When you're sewing, though, you'll sew along this directional line, so they will lay a lot flatter once you've got them sewn on, because they'll all have to face up because you're only going to sew in the bottom of them. So there you go. There are your Charlie eyebrows. Hopefully this was super helpful, and I can't wait to see the Charlies that you finish with your new eyebrows. Thanks for watching a Hook by Katie tutorial video. Please click subscribe and click that little bell so you get notifications every time I post a new video. And remember to go to hookbykatie.com for more patterns, tutorials, and guides to help you improve your art.